Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to Kate's Kindergarten. I'm Teacher Kate, and I'm so excited to share with you our letter of the day. Today, our letter is dun 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 dun, the letter Q. The letter Q, you write the letter Q the same way every time, right? Every time you write it the same way. You start at the top. You can do it in the air when I'm doing it. Start at the top, come down and around, and you come down top to bottom on the little leg. You write the letter Q the same way every time, and that way it will look really neat, and people will be able to read it. The letter Q says qua, 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 qua. And words that start with the letter Q are things like quiz and queen, quiet, and what other Q words are there? Quiche, this type of breakfast food. So I'm going to share with you two of my favorite, and quilt, which is the first story we're going to read today. The Quilt Story by Tony Johnston and Tommy DePaula. I love quilts. Get all nice and comfy and let's share a story together. A little girl's mother made the quilt to keep her warm. When the snow came down long ago, she stitched the quilt by a yellow flame, humming all the time. She stitched the tails of the falling stars, and she stitched the name Abigail. Abigail loved the quilt. Look how beautiful it is. Her mom made that for her. Abigail loved the quilt, and she wrapped it round her in the quiet dark. She watched the winter skies. Sometimes she saw a falling star. Sometimes Abigail played in the wood near her home. She had tea, and her dolls had tea, and the quilt had tea all over it. Oh, look. She's using it as a blanket. Now she's using it as a picnic blanket. Look at the kitty cat there. And oh dear, the tea did in fact fall all over it. Sometimes she pretended the quilt was a gown, and she wore it to town on her horse. Clop, clop, clop. Ooh, and it got a tear in it. Looks like it may have gotten a tear in it. And her mother stitched it up once more. She really plays with that quilt a lot. It's like one of her favorite toys. Sometimes she played hide and seek with her sisters. She laughed and cried, "Don't peek," and hid under the quilt. And everyone found her. Sometimes Abigail was sick. She sneezed, and then she slept under the quilt until she felt better. There she is playing hide and seek. There she is getting sick. I hope she's going to feel better soon. One day, Abigail's family moved away across wide rivers and over a hard rock trail. The quilt went too. Not stuffed in trunks with the blankets and cloths. It kept the little girls warm from the wild winds, warm from the rain, and warm from the sparkling nights. Wow, they're making a great journey across the plains. And that quilt is really protecting them in all kinds of weather. They built a new house in the woods. Abigail's father built it with his hatchet. Chop, chop, chop. He built her a new bed. Chip, chip, chip. He made her a new horse, too. He worked until curly shavings covered the floor, and everyone sneezed, "Achoo!" and said, "Welcome home," and was glad. But Abigail felt sad. She does look a little sad, doesn't she, boys and girls? I wonder why she's sad. New house, new bed. Everything smelled of fresh chips and chops. Everything but the quilt. Her mother rocked her, as mothers do, then tucked her in, and Abigail felt at home again under the quilt. So all the new house and everything, the quilt is the thing that's making her feel at home. One day when the quilt was very old and very loved, Abigail folded it gently and put it in the attic. Everyone kind of forgot it was there. A gray mouse came and loved the quilt. Her babies were born on top of it. They grew fat and gray in the warm stuffing. When they got hungry, they ate a falling star. Oh no, they're kind of eating their way at the quilt. A raccoon came and loved the quilt. She dug a hole in a corner with her black paws and hid an apple there. A cat came and loved the quilt. A patchwork cat. It rolled on the stars and the stuffing spilled out like snow. Then the cat curled up in the snow and purred. Oh my goodness. Kitty, kitty, called a little girl. She found her cat. She found the quilt splashed with patterns of sun. The little girl wrapped the quilt around her. And she loved the quilt too. I wonder who that little girl could possibly be. She showed her mama the quilt and she said, "Can you make it like new?" she asked her mother. Her mother patched the holes and pushed fresh stuffing in it. She stitched along the tails on the stars to swish across the quilt again. Who do you think her mother could be? One day, the little girl's family moved away across miles and miles of pavement and snaking gray highways. They found a new house, freshly cleaned, freshly waxed, and freshly painted white. Wow. They unpacked and unpacked all night. Everyone sneezed on cardboard dust. Achoo! Welcome home, and was glad. But the little girl, it's the same story again. The little girl felt sad. Everyone smelled of white paint and boxes, everything but the quilt. So her mother rocked her as mothers do, then tucked her in, and she felt at home again under the quilt. There she is. That's the same quilt. See the stars? And boys and girls, who do you think the mom in that story was? I think it was, were you going to say Abigail? I think it may have been Abigail when she grew up. And that is the beautiful story of the quilt story and how quilts are sometimes passed down. Our other story that we're going to read today is the very quiet cricket. Quiet starts with our letter of the day, the letter Q. The very quiet cricket. This is a part of a series like the very hungry caterpillar and the very busy spider and the very grouchy ladybug. And now we have the very quiet cricket. I can't wait to read this one with you. One day, from a tiny egg, a little cricket was born. "Welcome," chirped a big cricket, rubbing its wings together. Can you rub your wings together, boys and girls? Pretend your hands are your wings. Rub your wings together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. Rub your hands. Rub, rub, rub. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good morning," whirred a locust, spinning through the air. The little cricket wanted to answer, so what did he do? He rubbed his wings together. Rub your wings, boys and girls. Rub them hard. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Hello," whispered a praying mantis, scraping its huge front legs together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. Ooh, but nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good day," crunched a worm. Munch, 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 munching his way out of an apple. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. He keeps on trying. I love how that cricket never gives up. It's important to never give up, boys and girls. Always keep trying. "Hi," bubbled a spittlebug, slurping in a sea of froth. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. Oh, but nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good afternoon," screeched a cicada, clinging to a branch of a tree. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "How are you?" hummed a bumblebee. The little cricket so desperately wanted to answer. I'm going to put my book down. So he rubbed his wings together. Do it really hard, boys and girls. Oh, but nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good evening," whirred a dragonfly, gliding above the water. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. This time, nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good night," buzzed the mosquitoes, dancing among the stars. The little cricket wanted to answer, but nothing happened. Not a sound. A Luna moth sailed through the night, and the cricket enjoyed the stillness. So nice just to be still and quiet sometimes. Let's take a nice deep breath. The cricket enjoyed the stillness. As the Luna moth disappeared into the distance, the cricket saw another cricket. She too was a very quiet cricket. Then he rubbed his wings together one more time. And this time, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He chirped the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. Oh my goodness, let's hear it one more time. Wow. The last page, the cricket finally got his cricket sound going. And that is the story, The Very Quiet Cricket. Letter Q. Thanks for joining us, boys and girls. I'm so happy you came to learn about a new letter, and I will see you again next time. And we'll read some more of my favorite alphabet books. Until then, remember KFH. Be kind, be friendly, and be helpful to everyone you meet and everything you do. And remember, I love you so much, and I am so glad that you came to my school today. Have a good day. Love you so much. Bye-bye.